What's up, everybody? This is Carmelo Anthony. I want all of y'all to show up for the Women's FIBA World Cup in Berlin in 2026. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be worth it. And if you are in doubt, stay mellow. Peace.
First question, Melo. Who is the better, FIBA Melo or NBA Melo?
I hear that all the time.
Yeah. Because you was amazing in NBA and FIBA too.
Yeah, it's too different because it's two different styles of games. But I mean, I would say NBA Melo. Man, you know, that was a grind. That was a hustle. I had to give my all into that. So I would say NBA Melo.
Your mindset was different when you play in FIBA?
It was totally different. The game was different. My role was different on the team. It wasn't the same role as NBA, so it was an adjustment. I had to adapt to being on a team with 10, 11 of the greatest players in the game at one time. So you have to find your role, and it's very tough.
What can you say about our French diamond, Victor Wembanyama?
We love him. We love him. I think he's when it comes to the globalization of the game of basketball, like he's the epitome of that. He stands tall, you know, literally and figuratively. Like he represents, you know, I think he represents the game really well. As a young man who haven't even learned the game yet and figured the game out and haven't even found his pace yet. So we're talking about somebody who's in the NBA 8 months already, right? So I can't wait to see his career and see what he does with that.
I'm sure you saw that one week ago. KD against Serbia made a huge game.
Yep.
You remind me something like you against Nigeria.
Yeah.
Are you agree with that?
Yeah. It was, you know, I think when you as somebody who scores the ball and shoots the ball well, like KD and myself, like we look for those games. Like we look for rhythms and flows that we could come in and because we know once we get to that, like it's going to be a good night. It's going to be a great night. So we try our best to kind of find those rhythm and those flows. But with KD, he's so silky smooth. He's 7 feet. Like he can shoot the ball. He can put it on the floor. So and he's smart, right? So I think now he's playing smarter as opposed to harder, and we see the difference.
What is your best memory with Team USA?
Best memory.
Because you won a lot.
Yeah, but the best memory was a loss, right? The best memory was losing to Greece. That was the best memory because if we didn't lose that game in 06 to Greece, who knows what had happened after that? We probably wouldn't have been on the 08 team because we won the world championship, right? We probably wouldn't have been on the 12 team or the 16 team. So my best memory is losing to Greece. Even though it was a bad time, but my best memory is losing to Greece.
In Beijing in 2008, maybe you play in the best game of FIBA history against Spain in final. Are you agree with that?
Yes. Yes. See, you giving me information from an international standpoint that I've totally forgot all about. But when you ask those questions, it's like, okay, yeah, I remember the Spain game, and I remember what happened, and I remember what went into winning that game, how hard it was, and the level that you had to take the greatness up to because Spain was a great team back then.
But about your perspective after the game, you say, "Wow, it was an amazing game," or it was just a
no. The
W?
Spain game in 08 was like, let me get myself together after the game. Like, let me breathe for a minute because it was an intense game, and we knew how hard and bad that Spain wanted to win, and we had the same sentiment. We wanted to win as bad too. So it was just a moment of like, you go in the locker room, you be like, oh, we did it, like. We don't want to play Spain again. Like it was one of those moments.
What's your top 5 Team USA teammates?
Teammates?
Yeah.
That's a better question. Ooh. Teammates is hard, man, because it's when you do teammates in USA and international play, you only have a short window to become.
Yeah, I know. That's why you're asking.
Yeah, so it's like the guys that I was around was like D Wade and in 2008 and Kobe in 08 and 12 and LeBron from 04, 08 and 12 and even 06. Like Chris Paul was a great guy, a great friend, and a great teammate. Team USA. I mean the Kobe's, the LeBrons, the D Wade when he was playing. The Russell Westbrooks and the KDs when they was kind of younger in 2012 and 6. So those are the guys that. And Anthony Davis, somebody who was a rookie with us, right? Coming fresh out of college, and we had to put him under our wing and bring him along. So he was a great teammate. He became a great teammate by being with us in 2012. So, I mean, everybody has their own rhyme of reasons, but it was a group of us that was always together.
What can you say about French basketball, and what do you know about French basketball?
It depends which level of what you asked me about French basketball, but I do believe that, and I do know that what French basketball has created over the past couple years, it's opened the door internationally all over the world. The fact that, you look up in our league in the NBA and you see every year 2, 3 French players, name is in the draft, getting drafted. I think you would start to see that door open up a lot more, due to the fact that people see Wembanyama out there, they see him coming from France, they see the other young guys that's coming into the NBA from France. I think it was a French guy that played in the NBL that came over, that got drafted. So it's a lot of French players that's opening the door for that.
Now you have a new job. Now you're retired. You have a podcast.
Yeah.
What can you bring on this new job with your career, with your style?
I bring my experiences. I bring perspective, and I only speak about things that I've been through, and it makes it easier when you can speak on the things that you've been through. I'm fortunate enough to be able to speak from a 20-year window and a 20-year, so it makes it a lot easier to tell the stories and talk about it. But it's my own experience, right? The good, the bad, the ugly, the truth, right? Never anything false. We deal with facts. We don't gossip. We don't make things up. We tell you direct, and we also, we give flowers to people and show our appreciation to a lot of athletes and a lot of entertainers and dignitaries, like whoever it is that we feel like deserve their flowers and deserve appreciation. It don't have to be the bigger name. It's just we deal with people and we deal with humanities.
Maybe one day you can come in on our French podcast, First Team.
We could talk about that. We could talk
about that. Next time in
that.
Paris?
We could talk about that, absolutely.
See you.
Nah, thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Likewise, thank you.